Right. So what are some of the things that people can do to raise their credit score like 100 points in less than a week? Guys, if it's your first time on the channel, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. We're the only channel that comes to you Monday through Friday and on Saturday to make sure you know credit like it's your kid's name, like the back of your hand. Because if you know credit like your son knows Fortnite, like your daughter knows gymnastics, like you know your kid's name, right? The more you do it, the better you're gonna get. So hit that subscribe button. That's why I come to you every single day to make sure I'm up in your grill. I'm up in your grill. Why am I up in your grill? Because I want to make sure that you don't miss one single video. That's why every day I'm up in your grill about it. I'm holding myself really accountable to doing a channel to give you guys the most education on credit every single day, to keep you up to date, to keep you current. I could do it once a month, I could do it once a week, but I decided to do it every day. Because if you do something every day, if you watch my videos every day, I guarantee you'll be in the 800s. By the way, today's topic does not apply to anybody over 800 credit score. And the reason why is because the credit scores don't go up to 900. There is actually one model that considers a 900 to be perfect. But for the purposes of this video, this is not for people that are in the 800s. To raise your credit score 100 points in a 7-day period, I'm going to give you 3 tips. First, I need you to subscribe. Then I need you to hit the like button. Okay, that means a thumbs up. Go ahead and smash that real quick. And then the third thing I'm going to do is ask you to turn on your bell notification. Okay, there's a little bell. The reason for that is because as I'm doing the videos every day, I want to make sure you're getting the videos that come in every day. And if your bell's on, that tells you, hey, Mike's doing a video. I need to watch it because he's going to bring the most content, valuable credit tips that anybody's ever put out. So today I'm going to show you how to raise your credit score 100 points in 7 days. If you do this correctly, this works. I've helped thousands and thousands of people. I've been fortunate enough to literally think big enough to change the national credit average from 667 to over 700. And I will accomplish that with your help. That's why I ask you to make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that bell notification so you can share these videos with other people as well. So that being said, what is one thing that you can do to raise your credit score 100 points in 7 days? Well, the first thing you need to do is you have to understand what the word statement date means. Okay? Statement date. What I want you guys to do in this video is go through each one of your credit cards. Okay? And I want you to call the back of the card and ask the bank rep, what is your statement date? Each credit card has its own statement date. You could also go into online and go to statements and you'll see the closing date. That's basically when the credit card closes out each month. So in order to raise your credit score 100 points, okay, let's say you have a $500 credit card, but you don't understand what a statement date is. So let's say your statement date is the 15th of the month and you have a $500 credit card. Well, you go spend $450 on it because you went on this lavish hotel and you wanted to stay at the Ritz-Carlton, okay? You put $450 on a $500 card. So what does that mean? That means you're gonna have over a 90% utilization. But first you have to understand how your credit score is made up. 30% of your entire score, okay, is made up by utilization. It's one of the biggest things besides payment history. It is number 2. So let's say you had 90% utilization on your credit cards. Put in comments, is that a good thing or a bad thing? 90% utilization. And if you've been following me for any length of time, you're going to be able to determine this answer and put everybody should have the same answer. If it's your first time on the channel, maybe you're just learning, it's okay. Go back through all my other videos and listen to this. But if you have a 90% utilization, which means you're using $450 out of a $500 credit limit, good or bad thing? Now, I'm going to tell you this. If you knew what the statement date of that credit card was, then you would pay that card down prior to the statement date. So if my statement date, for example, on that $500 credit card is the 15th, what I want to make sure is that the payment, okay, is brought down. What I always tell you guys, the magic number is 2% utilization. So you want to get that $450 down to $10 because that would be 2% of the $500 credit limit. So whatever your credit limit is, you want to get your credit card paid down prior to the statement date to 2%. Okay? That would be one sure way that if you did that on multiple credit cards and you knew your statement dates, you knew how to plan it right, that if you had a statement date the 15th and the 16th and the 19th, that literally within a week, you could raise your credit score easily 100 points because that's 30% of your score. Think about that. Let's say we're talking about an 800 credit score. 240 points comes from utilization. No statement dates of your credit cards. So make a spreadsheet or just write it on a piece of paper. If you're not computer literate, write down capital one, statement date is this. This is the credit limit. Here's what I owe on it. Here's the statement date. Discover. Here's the credit limit. Here's the statement date. Here's what I owe on it. Do that with all your credit cards and make sure that you start getting them down to 2%. Okay? Tip number one. Number two is no statement dates. Why do I say that? Because what could you do if you couldn't get your credit cards down to 2% because you didn't have the finances to pay all of them down to 2%? Well, then what you would want to do is no statement dates for authorized user trade lines. So you could purchase an authorized user trade lines. This is going to be a two-part on this one. A, to raise your credit score 100 points, you would want to know the statement date of the card. Now here's how you buy trade lines. The day that you are purchasing the line, okay? Let's say that you're saying, all right, today I'm going to buy lines. Well, today happens to be October 1st. So what I'm going to be doing is I want to look for statement dates that are about 3 days after, 2 to 3 days after the date of the day I'm purchasing them. Today's the 1st, I'm going to be looking for the 3rd. If today was the 5th, I'm going to be looking for statement dates of the 8th. Know your statement dates. Now, what am I looking for when I purchase? Well, you want to look for, again, we're talking about raising your credit score 100 points. So first thing I want to do is I want 15 years of history. Anything less than 15 years of history is not probably going to get you over that that 100 point increase. The second thing is, let's say you can't pay those credit cards down to 2%. Then what you want to do is you want to go with a high limit and age. So let's say you're at 70% utilization on your credit cards. I would then be looking for a 25K credit limit with probably 15 years. That's going to lower the utilization because I'm putting $25,000 of new credit on my credit report, and it's giving me the history. Okay, so the way to factor this on average is you get about 7 points for every year of age on a trade line. So if you do 7 times 15, 7 years per age for every year. So for example, if the trade line's 10 years old and you get about 7 points per year, you're going to get 70 points. That's just a general statement. Now, if you have 25 negatives on there, obviously, then you're going to get less impact. But generally speaking, 7 points per year for every trade line you add. The older the card, the more points you're going to get. If you're trying to lower utilization and you want that 100-point increase, I would be looking for, first example, today's the 1st of the month. I'm going to be like, okay, cool. I'm looking for October 3rd. I'm looking for October 4th most. And I'm looking for a high limit, and I'm looking for an old card, okay? That is what I'm looking for to get a 100-point increase in a 7-day period. You guys follow me? Third tip is your payment history. Remember, the largest portion of your credit, the largest portion is 35%, meaning 35% of your credit score is made up by how you pay, how responsible you are of making payments. That's why I tell you, put your credit cards on auto pay. Put your vehicle on auto pay so you never miss a payment, okay? But what if you knew how to remove late payments effectively? You could raise your credit score 100 points because your payment history is 35% of your score. So every late payment you remove, you're going up significantly. One late payment, let me give you an example, could take you from 800 down to the 600s by missing one payment. That's how important. That is the most important part of your credit report is your payment history. So what you would want to do in order to not miss an A is put it on auto. Call up the credit card companies, call up the car company, your vehicle. call up your home if you want to do that and say, hey, look, I would like it to be automatically drafted out of my account on my due date. Okay? That way you never miss a payment. If you don't want to do that, that's fine, but I'm telling you the secrets of the people with over 800 credit score, they all do that. I've been doing it for years. Everything comes out auto. I don't ever make a manual payment. But understanding, what if you could remove late payments? Because things happen. Life happens. I understand. We just went through a devastation in the world. Not even the United States. The whole world just got dumped. We had an economic collapse, right? So I understand that some people may have missed payments. And for that reason, I've created the credit game. Guys, you look behind me, I've studied the wealthiest people in the world. What do they all do? What's the one common thing with every billionaire in the world? What do? They read. They educate themselves. So what could you do? You want to raise your credit score? Get rid of the late payments. But you have to know how to get rid of the late payments. I created the credit game, okay, which is my program, that encompasses everything I just talked to you about. The trade lines, you'll be able to get 75% off competitor prices. Not 10% off, not 15% off, 75% off of what the other competitors are pricing their lines at, just by being part of the credit game. Number 2 is I've also put together a proprietary letter for you guys, which is your updated information, your personal updated information letter. These are not cookie cutter letters that you can get online. This is the actual letter that can help you remove all the alias names, to help you remove, I'm going to give you guys the gold nugget right here. Remove the alias names, remove the alias addresses, take off any phone number, and take off any employment that is not attached to you. What I mean by that is this. If you have a collection or a late payment, okay, we're going to say late payment for the example of this video. If you have a late payment and you have an address on your credit report, in order to remove that late payment, you have to update your personal information. And you have to have the proprietary letter to do that, which I have, that works tremendously. But here's the deal. You need to first get the personal information updated, then dispute the late payment. Okay? I also have a hardship letter in there that works wonders in combination with the personal update form. So you're going to do one first, the personal update form, then the hardship letter. Okay? The personal update form, basically what you want to do is make sure that the late payment that you have and or collection, but again, for the purposes of the video, we're using late payment because that's 35% of your score. What we want to do is we want to remove the address, the phone number, the employment, and any alias names that are attached to that late payment. Okay, so if the late payment's on a Capital One and you live at 123 Smith Street and you got a bunch of addresses, trust me, everywhere you've ever lived, there's at least 4 or 5 of them on your credit report and they all show. Okay, so you want to remove the address, the phone number, and any alias names, because you'll have, my name's Mike, right? They might have Mikey, it might have Michael, and they have Mikhail. You see them on there. There are a bunch of them. Remove anything that is not, anything that is like, for example, you have this late payment, and that was at 123 Smith Street, but you live at 123 Smith Street. You do not want 123 Smith Street on your credit report. You want to then leave the address that does not associate with the late payment. That's the one you want to keep, okay? I want to make very clear about that. As far as your phone number, if you made the late payment and your phone number was X, take that phone number off with the address update form. The only thing you should have is one phone number, one address, one alias name, and one employment. And all 4 of those things should not be attached to what you are trying to remove. So reverse it and say, if I live at 123 Smith Street and that's where this negative late payment or collection happened at, well, then I want to use one of the other addresses and I want to remove the one I live at. Very simple. Once that happens, then you're going to send in letter number 1, hardship letter that I provide. It's a proprietary letter that has helped thousands of people in the last 6 years. This is called the credit game. And I built this for me because I was at a 505 credit score with about 12 collections and I had significant late payments. Okay? I built the system for me and now I want to share it with you. If you guys are interested in learning how to do this, to be able to get the letters, to be able to get the platform, 75% off competitor prices on Tradelines, to raise your credit score 100 points in 7 days, you got to do the 3 things I just told you. Learn the credit game. This is the best platform that's out there. On top of that, you guys will get free elite credit repair with any of my programs today. Call me at 904-420-7772. That's 904-420-7772. My name is Mike. I come to you every single day. I love you guys. Like, subscribe, and smash on that button. Like, subscribe, turn on bell notification, and I'll see you guys as soon as you call me at 904-420-7772. If you want the help, I'm here to help you. My team's out there waiting on your call now. Give me a call. Thank you, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.